All right, everybody. So here we are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. How are we all doing today? Good? Good, I hope. Okay, so I'm here looking at the chat, making sure I say hi to everybody. Nandish has promoted me to master teacher. Thank you. That's awesome. Hello, AJ. Hi, Leo, French Leo. Bonjour. How are you doing? Rosa is here, of course. Hello, Rosa. Naitesh, Steve. Hello. Steve says bonjour as well. You know, this is an English class, but I think it's okay to let you know what words and phrases we use in common modern English that are from other languages. Most Americans know bonjour. They'll say it with a very thick American accent. They'll say bonjour, when a closer pronunciation might be bonjour. We know Spanish, we know French a little bit, you know, un poquito, un peu. We know a little Spanish, we know a little French. We know salam alaikum, most Americans, I would say. So we get so much cultural influence here in America, which is awesome. I love it. I love that we have Indian food and Thai food and Korean barbecue and Mexican food and Chinese food. All this, I talk a lot about food. You see one of my favorite hobbies, right? Eating. So we have all this culture, and so many good questions. I'm going to answer all these for you. But we know a little bit of foreign language also because it works its way into our culture. If you go to LA to study, 48% of people who live in California speak Spanish. So if you want to learn English, you should travel somewhere like here, Spokane, Washington, because most people here speak English with my accent, which is actually the most neutral accent in the United States. I kind of wish I had a really cool, authentic, Boston accent or New York accent or something like that. But we're pretty neutral, so this is a good place to learn English. So I'm Joshua Porter, if this is your first time. I'm the director of Spokane College of English Language, an ESL college here in beautiful Spokane, Washington. You can check us out at usa-english.com. It looks a lot like this if you go to the page and check it out. But we're going to get right into the lesson, and I'm going to give you a little preview of what we're going to do over the next few weeks, because one of our premium subscribers, Sarbajit, asked me a question that was very thoughtful, and I'm going to address that here in class. I'm also going to use it as a segue to talk about what we're going to learn coming up. This is English for academic purposes. This is a class where we study English for preparation for university, for college, for technical school, for the workforce. Maybe you want to be an employee somewhere and English will help you get that job. This class will help you. To answer some of your questions, Nandish says, where's Mark? Where's Nicole? Nandish, where have you been? We missed you. Mark is no longer teaching with us. He went home to take care of his beautiful new baby and work on other things. Nicole also has a brand new baby. So Abby, the wonderful Abby, she's so smart, so brilliant. She has taken Nicole's place. You know, you'll see Nicole back sometimes here and there, probably. But for now, both Nicole and Mark have beautiful, gorgeous little brand new babies, and they are at home taking care of them, spending time with them. I know, at least for Nicole, she was so excited to have a little baby for a long time, and after a year of like planning and all that, she finally has her beautiful baby Arn, and he's so cute, just pudgy cheeks, like adorable little baby. So that's a big focus for her, of course, right? And we all understand that. Okay, other questions. Let's see. You're amazing as well. Thank you, Josh. Okay, so Sarbajit asks, one of our premium subscribers. And I should say right out the gate, that way if anybody asks about it, they jump in later. how do I become a premium subscriber? Go to Smrt English, smrtenglish.com/live, and you can check out the classes we offer. You can learn a little bit about it, how to join one of these classes. You can get a free month of classes also. So check that out. And if you have questions, Zach@smrtenglish.com. Zach will be able to answer questions for you. So if that comes up and somebody asks in the chat and we're in a discussion about grammar or vocabulary or context, feel free to say, just look up earlier in the chat, it's there. And just for anyone who watches this video later on, in our document here, I'm going to put that information as well. So it's smrtenglish.com/live/live. This is where you can become a premium subscriber and learn about what premium subscribers get. Homework corrections. I haven't done some personalized videos in a little while. Things have been kind of crazy here at the college with my students in the classrooms and seats, which I hope all of you get to be one day. So I will try to get back into those as well and do some personalized videos. Those are always fun. So you can go to this site. You can also email Zach at smartenglish.com. So if you showed up a little bit late, you'll see this in the video. You can rewind. You can check it out later. All there for you. So to answer Naitesh's question, I need your help regarding some problem with the subscription. I emailed Zach, but he's not providing a solution. That's cool. Just email me. My email, Sarbajit, is joshua.live@usa-english. At Smrt English. I also have joshua.porter@usa-english.com. If you want to come to USA, study English here, email me at the USA English email. If you have questions about Smrt Live, you can email me at the Smrt English email. So, come visit the USA. That's the email address you'll send me an email to. So, hopefully that clarifies. Sarbajit, we'll chat about it later. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. French Leo says good morning. Everybody's saying hello, good morning. Nandish. Okay, so you were Sarbajit's dad? Is that right? Or am I confusing that statement? Either way, cool. Very happy. I'm glad your family's using this. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Have them show up to this class. Have them join you as a premium subscriber. That'd be awesome. It would be very, very cool to get a whole family in here learning. I think that would be really fun, really awesome. Okay, Josh, hello from Russia. Hi, how are you? Sumaya, how are you doing today? Good to have you. Let's see. Just scrolling down, making sure I get everybody's questions. Italian named students, awesome. Akram, hello. Abdullah, hi, how are you? If I'm missing somebody, say something, say hi. Unkanu, hello, how are you? Okay, so I do have a WhatsApp, and Sarbajit, I'm happy to give my WhatsApp and Snapchat and all that to premium subscribers. Anybody can have Snapchat, that's fine. I think I showed it last class, so if you want my Snapchat, the college here, just go to the last video, and it's towards the end, at the end of the video, you can see that. Okay, so Nanish is your dad. Maybe no, you're just laughing at me, Sarbajit, I'm not sure. Adam, hey, it's good to have you. Good to see you. Entangled particles. French Leo's kind of making fun of me. So our class, we talk about academic subjects, right? And good point. So we talked about entangled particles. We talked about particle physics and quantum mechanics. Science topics, which I love. I find them fascinating, and I love to talk about them in English, but I'm not necessarily a scientist when it comes to many of the hard sciences, biology, chemistry, physics. I like them. I don't necessarily know a lot about them. I try to learn. The closest I get to scientist is probably linguist and studying languages. Deary. Oh, deary. Okay. Deary. So D-Y-A-R-Y is pronounced deary. Hello, deary. I like that. That has a good sound to it. I like that sound. Academic reading. Okay, so Unkanu, I think is how I say your name, Unkanu. Tell me and spell it phonetically if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I will try. Abdullah, hi, how are you? So you say, what is academic reading? Okay, I'm going to break this down. And before I go into this class, I want to give you a quick preview of what the next 5 weeks are going to be like. Excuse me. Yes, 5 weeks. So the next month or so. Next class, so next Thursday, is going to be a listening class. And it's on this same topic. But actually, I'll give you this option. Let's take a vote. We can mix it up. We can change it. It's not set in stone. Let's talk to our premium subscribers. What do you want more? Here's what I was thinking. Normally, if I taught this class in this college here, I would move from this academic reading to a listening. We'd have a little bit of listening practice, and then I would start on presentation skills. But Sarbajit, one of our premium subscribers, who's an amazing student, was asking me about presentation skills. Well, I had planned on moving to presentation skills anyway in 2 classes from now, and it's going to be a 4-class series. So we're going to have 4 classes in a row about presentation skills, and it will help with other parts of English as well. It will help with speaking, obviously, listening, because we're going to do some listening practice in there, and it will help a lot with writing and composition, because the way that we create a presentation outline is very similar to the way we create an essay outline. So I'm going to open it up to the world all around us here and to our students, because students are really the driving force of any classroom in so many ways. What do you guys want? Do you want one class to practice a little listening before we start a new, longer series? I mean, we've done academic reading. This is the 3rd class for academic reading, looking at vocabulary in contexts, focusing on it. Or do you want to go right into presentations? What would you like? Let's hear some thoughts. I'm going to take the most weight from our premium subscribers, because they're the ones going to be doing the homework. But Rosa, what do you think? Sarbajit, what do you think? And while you guys are entering those comments into the chat, I'm going to go ahead and take attendance for our premium subscribers. So these are our premium subscribers here: Selma, Searing, Aaron, Rosa, Lilate, Alejandra, and these are just some of them. I think we may have others that I haven't added on here yet. But what I'd like to do is, because Sarbajit, I don't see Sarbajit on here, and he is certainly a premium subscriber. So is give these students the option to say, hey, we want to study presentation skills, or we want to study listening skills. So Mishari says he wants listening practice. Nandish, Happy Republic Day. I'm not sure what country that's a holiday in, but awesome. Happy holiday. Hanan, hi, how are you? So what do you guys want? And we don't have to decide right now. We can talk about it later, but Sarbajit has joined the American Library, which provides ebooks and movies, so you can suggest some books and movies to read. Yes, I can. I will send you some suggestions. There are a lot of great movies. I want to know a little bit more about your style, though, first, Sarbajit, before I recommend anything. What kind of movies do you like? What genre? Do you like action, comedy? Do you like old movies, new movies? There's a lot of options out there. So I'll try to help you focus that down and get some good suggestions for you. Okay. Oh, okay, that's the problem. You don't know how you got out of the group. We'll fix it, Sarbajit. Don't worry. We'll take care of you, buddy. We got you. No problem. Floyd, hi, how's it going? Oh, India. Okay, so it's Republic Day in India. Happy Republic Day, India. That's awesome. I want to know more about that holiday. I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about the holiday, but I can find out. That's the beauty of information out in the world, right? And you could teach me. Oftentimes, my students are also my teachers. Okay. Boba, hi, how are you? Good to have you. Akram, hello. Pulp Fiction. That's a good movie. Yeah, it's a little violent, a little action-y. Deary, okay, hi. Okay, so we're going to continue to chat and see if you guys want listening first or if you want to go right into presentation skills. But to give you an example, because I know Sarbajit was wondering about presentation skills, he had a presentation on a really cool topic, the color of shadows. I definitely want to know more about that. That is just a cool title. Really, really like that. That's very interesting. What we're going to go over in the series is we're going to start out with what makes a good presentation. What is a presentation actually? Does it always use PowerPoint? Does it have to be in front of a big audience or a small audience? What types of actual life situations will you see a presentation in? So we'll talk about business meetings, we'll talk about TED Talks, we will talk about proposals at a company, we will talk about academic presentations at university and college, everything from defending your thesis, the construction of an academic essay, how this all ties in together. So we'll talk about basic speaking skills, but here are some basic speaking skills that can help you right now, Sarbajit. We're going to go over a big group of skill sets that will make you one of the best presenters out there. But right now, here's a few tips that I can help you with. When you are speaking, and the best way to do it at first is maybe record yourself. Record yourself on your phone or laptop or whatever. Make a recording of yourself and try these things. Make sure that you're facing your audience. Make sure that you don't stand too still and stiff. Don't cross your arms, right? Have natural body language. Pretend that you are simply talking to a group of 4 of your friends standing in a circle outside your school. Very comfortable, right? You're going to move like you naturally move. You're going to move your arms and hands like you naturally move them. Speak a little louder than usual. You want everyone to hear you clearly. So slow down your words, speak a little louder than usual. And here's one more bit of advice that I'll give that is maybe the hardest thing to practice for presentation skills. Everybody has what is called a discourse marker. Now, you can watch anyone, any president speak, public leader, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, these, titans of industry. They have their own discourse markers. I have my own. These are words like, okay. Mark, if you watch some of Mark's videos, Mark's discourse marker is okay. He will say, you notice I just said, right there, right? I was like, what a discourse marker is it is a word or sound, and it's usually combined with a movement or motion to show that you want to keep the attention of your audience. You want to keep them focused. If you watch any videos with President Barack Obama, he would say, he would have that sort of drawn out we all have different ones. My brother's is the word like, and you'll hear some Americans say this. Like, I totally went to the store and you use that word between words to show that you're thinking. But here's my advice. After all that, showing you different examples, here's my advice. Use silence. Silence is the most powerful discourse marker out there. The worry is that other people will speak or interrupt you. But if you can remain silent between your thoughts and ideas, your speaking is so much more powerful. Silence is scary as the speaker. Do Do you see how much more powerful that was right there? Felt a little more powerful, right? Silence is so good when it comes to speeches. You keep everyone in anticipation. It's a really powerful tool, and it's hard to do. It takes a lot of practice. So record yourself. Try to talk about anything. Just make it up. Don't worry about planning out some speech. Just talk about your favorite movie and talk about it to your phone and look around the room pretending you're talking to more people. But that way you can see yourself. You can analyze yourself and say, what's my discourse marker? Be mindful of it and then eliminate it. You know, when you hear yourself say it, say, okay, I'm not going to say that again. And then you'll say it again, but just try to eliminate it slowly. That's my best advice for right now, Sarbajit. But we'll talk about a ton of those skill sets and tools and plenty more when we talk about presentation skills over the next 5 weeks or so. Okay, so Alejandra has my discourse marker pegged. It's that's definitely what I say. Let's see what else I missed in the chat. Oh, hi from Brazil, Marcelo. How are you? Good to have you. Steve. Let's see. Shadows are black. I made colored shadows. Colored shadows was the topic. Very cool. I like it. Rosa, I hope that will help with your dissertation. Yeah. Sudeep. Yes, Luca, my goal is to help with public speaking. Exactly. That's exactly what I want to help you with. You type goof instead of good. That's okay. Typos are fine. Mistakes are important, remember? If you guys have been with me for a long time, we've talked about how mistakes are very important. Is not, Sarbajit asks, is saying mean you're not fluent? No, discourse markers are parts of fluency. When you start to make the same common discourse markers, common inflection, common mistakes that native speakers make, it's actually a good sign. It means that you sound exactly like a native speaker, which is the goal, right? If I want to learn French, I want to sound exactly like a French speaker. I don't want to sound like an American who knows a little French. I want to sound like a French speaker. So that's the goal. It's pronounced Deary, right? Deary. Yes, I know I said a lot. When I'm thinking about discourse markers, I wind up saying it more. But it's a good exemplar for you. You can say, look at Josh. He needs to use silence more. Yeah, it's a natural part of speech. Alejandra's right. It pins up the speech in mind. That's a good way to put it, Sarbajit. That's very wise. Silence helps you avoid big mistakes. Yes, that is true. I am a talkative guy. Yeah. All right. So, oh, talkative guy, chatty man, French Leo says, yes, I am too. I'm very talkative, very chatty. Speaking of, let's go ahead and go to the last segment of our reading here. We have half of our class left. So we've talked for 2 classes now about environmental issues, global warming, which again I've sort of renamed to climate change because I think that that's more inclusive of what actually happens regarding this topic. We've gone over the reading. This is the listening that I intend on doing next week. Unless we decide not to, we might do jump right into presentations. But either way, we will cover presentations over the next 5 weeks. And we've been going over this reading. And I'll pronounce these words one more time so you can hear them, but I'm going to pronounce them in context within the reading. I'm actually going to read this whole thing through for you, and I encourage you to later rewatch the video and read it with me. So let me read the paragraph so you can hear the pronunciation, and then you can read it back yourself and kind of check. You could even go line by line if you want to practice your own pronunciation. That's so important, and that's one thing that is difficult to achieve like this, long distance learning, because I don't have you right here in front of me to repeat back and forth 10 times. If you're a premium subscriber and you really need to practice pronunciation, we can do that. We can have a one-on-one Skype, but your best bet is to, go live in the USA. Go live where there's native speakers that you can practice with all the time. That's the way to most improve your English in the shortest amount of time. You might achieve perfect English over 10 years practicing at home on your own. It's going to be hard though, and it's going to take a lot of time. If you want to speed up your life, go to university. Best bet is to come and live in the USA, work with native speakers all the time. Live with the host family, make some American friends, practice it all the time. But that's what I would advise you to do if you want to practice your pronunciation. So to recap really quick as we read this, academic reading, it was asked in the chat earlier, what is academic reading? Academic reading is reading for content, for context, and for knowledge acquisition, acquiring that knowledge. There are different strategies for academic reading than there are for leisure reading or entertainment reading. If you read Harry Potter for fun, to just get a good adventure story, you're leisure reading. You're reading for entertainment purposes. If you read academically, you're probably reading for a class to get a detailed understanding of sometimes a broad topic, sometimes a specific topic. But you're searching for content to get a firm grasp on the intricate parts of an aspect of science or nature or the world out there, sociology, maybe political science or history, these topics where you're studying a whole bunch of information. So there's more information than you could ever digest. So what you have to do is you have to seek the accurate information you're looking for. So strategies that we should break down. I'm just going to do these from the top of my head. I don't actually remember necessarily what order these would go in, so I'm just going to write them down. But we have talked about strategy for academic reading. So a couple things that we want to think about are, one, scan the reading. And we want to search for, I'm going to make these notes a little bigger for you. Scan the reading, searching for, we're going to search for titles. We're going to search for graphics. And on the graphics, if they're charts or graphs, read or mind the know the X and Y axes. So the axes are the lines there. Sorry about that. The X and Y axis. So if charts or graphs, know those. Those are the lines that run through a chart. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's easier. So here's a chart, graph in a chart. So here's a graph title. Here's the X-axis. So we need to know what these numbers are, what they represent. Usually, well, I won't say usually, but X-axis is often time. Time is not usually on the Y-axis. It doesn't mean it can't be, but it's generally not. We think of time as linear and horizontally linear for whatever reason. But this is often time, and this is quantity or amount. This is some sort of quantifiable amount, usually. Let's see, keywords Rosa mentions. Yeah, absolutely. So moving on, we're looking for titles, graphics, keywords, and here's where we should search for keywords. Topic sentences. So topic sentences and transition sentences. So where are Where are topic sentences? Where are transition sentences? For some of you, this is a very easy question. Maybe give some other subscribers or viewers a chance to answer that. But the question I'm going to ask in the chat is, where are topic sentences? And where are transition sentences? What are those? And where are they found? Yes, Sarbajit says to get the basic idea of the paragraph. Yes, exactly. So while you're answering this question that I'm going to put in the chat, I am going to show you exactly where those are. So we want to know what a paragraph's about so that we don't have to read the whole paragraph. So as we go through the reading, this is a topic sentence. The first sentence of a paragraph is our topic sentence. So here the topic sentence is, the Earth's climate has changed throughout its history, and life on this planet has continually adapted to whatever changes Mother Nature has thrown at it. So this topic sentence is the topic sentence of our introduction paragraph. It's probably going to be very broad, but it's going to introduce the whole essay. It's like a follow-up to the title, The Causes of Global Warming. It reinforces that. So we're talking about Earth's climate and the change. Global warming, we can guess from even the title sentence here that global warming means changes throughout the Earth's history. Transition is at the end and the beginning. Yes, Rosa. So this is a topic sentence, and then our transition sentences are here and here. It can exist either place. I've seen them effectively used either place in a paragraph or in an essay. This is an academic essay. Basically, any textbook you read, if you're at a more advanced school, they might be using laptops or tablets for their curricula. That's what we use here at our college. But they might be using textbooks because that's still a popular modality and methodology in colleges, even though by the time the textbook is out and printed, there are things that could be outdated. I think digital curricula is the way of the future. But that's beside the point. Transition sentences are effectively placed here and here, the end of a paragraph and the beginning of another paragraph. Yukanyu says the same thing. And then Deary says, topic sentences are usually at the beginning of the paragraph and the supporting sentences follow it. Yes, that is correct. But really what we're searching for, we're not worried about supporting sentences unless we're interested in the topic. So, for example, if I'm your teacher of this class, maybe it's a geology class or a biology class or meteorology, and we're talking about climate change, I might give you reading questions as homework. Now, you might want to read the whole thing if it's not too long, but you might have a ton of homework and a lot of other classes, and you just have to get this key information that your teacher's asking. They say, hey, I need this from you. I need these answers. Well, okay, you're going to read the questions first. And this is the same strategy as test-taking strategy. You're going to read the questions first and then find out what information you're looking for. Look for those key words and search the paragraphs for that information. Vivek, yes, you're late. That's okay, you can watch the rest of the video later. The main idea is different from the topic sentence, right? Yes. So the main idea, it depends on what main idea you're talking about, Nora. The main idea for the essay is going to be different than topic sentences. The topic sentences will be related to it. But when we start talking about main idea, we're leaning more towards essay topic and thesis. When we're talking about topic sentence, we might be talking about one topic which covers supporting evidence to support our thesis. So an example, the topic sentence here is the introduction paragraph of the essay. So it kind of covers the main idea. So in that example, yes, both, to your question, Nora. Down here, though, if I skip a few paragraphs, and let's just read a random topic sentence. The fossil fuels which contain carbon are relatively inert until they are broken down through the process of burning, which is where human activities come into play. So this is a great transition sentence. I know from reading this sentence that the previous paragraph was all about carbon and the fossil fuels which contain carbon. So it's kind of like, where does that come from? So in just reading this sentence, I can know what came before in this whole paragraph. I can know the basic idea of this whole paragraph. I can also know the basic idea of this whole paragraph below, because this sentence transitions the two thoughts, the two groups of supporting evidence for the overall main idea or topic of the essay. So this transition sentence right here tells me the previous paragraph was about carbon and the fossil fuels from which carbon comes, and the breaking down and burning. And the next paragraph is going to tell me human activity in relation to that. What do humans do to release that carbon that is found in these fossil fuels? So earlier, fossil fuels and where carbon exists naturally in our environment. Below this paragraph, right over here, that is going to be about human influence there, the human action that releases that carbon. Does that make sense? Are we understanding that idea of what a topic sentence does and how that transitions ideas throughout academic writing? Hopefully. Let me check the chat here. Let's see. Okay. Deary says KIF, knowledge is free. I like your abbreviation there of the name. That's cool. Depends on the writer. What did he ask? But sometimes the topic sentence can be on the second sentence of the paragraph, can't they, Josh? It does depend on the writer. So Deary is right. But Sarbajit, I should tell you, knowledge is free. His name is Sarbajit, by the way. I think he's okay me sharing that information because he told me I could before. You're right, though, Sarbajit. So it can go for one or two sentences. Students will ask me, is the thesis sentence only one sentence always? No. In really, really long essays that are pages and pages and pages, an essay can be like 100 pages, 200 pages. They can be very, very long. And in that, sometimes a whole paragraph is considered the thesis because we can't always jam all the information we need into one even compound complex sentence with multiple clauses because it just becomes clunky. So we do what language allows, what language dictates. We don't want our sentences to be run-on sentences. So yeah, sometimes the topic sentence, the writer who is using their, I would say, artistic abilities. Writing is an art. Even academic writing has an art to it. And so you're making decisions, artistic decisions. And every essay is going to turn out differently based on the style and the artistic ability of the writer. So possibly, but in general terms, to just kind of teach you the basics before you're able to really create your own artistic style, I want you to know that the fundamental outline for a paragraph is topic sentence, support, and conclusion. And those topic and conclusion sentences sometimes double as transitions. So the first sentence of an essay, of course, is not going to be a transition sentence. It's only going to be a topic sentence because it's the very first sentence of the essay. There's nothing to transition from. But a sentence that is the topic sentence of a paragraph in the middle of our essay, it is probably doubling as a transition sentence and a topic sentence. But you can take two sentences to explain your topic. My advice, though, is if the sentence is unnecessary, if you're being redundant, which means you're repeating yourself, I'm trying to think of a really quick, easy example here. If I said a topic sentence like, in the middle of an essay that's maybe also a transition sentence, it is clear that humans have been the cause of much damage to the earth, to our earth, but there is still time left. Okay, so this sentence here, this sentence transitions from two ideas, right? This transitions from the idea that I've explained damage and how humans have caused it to the earth, right? It is clear that humans have been the cause of much damage to our earth. And this is very formal, me using much in the affirmative. Of severe, change that a little bit. It's a better sentence. It's clear that humans have been the cause of severe damage to our earth, but there is still time left. Okay, this isn't great. This is just off the top of my head. There's 100 ways to write this sentence more artfully. But this would be my topic sentence, also serving as a transition. It says what we did as human beings to damage the earth, and then it's going to introduce ideas of what we can still do to stop the problem. Now, I could repeat this topic sentence and say something like, although the damage has seemed irreversible, all we have is this moment forward. Okay? And I, of course, spelled that incorrectly. Oops. Although the damage has seemed irreversible, all we have is this moment forward. These two sentences basically say the same thing. So in this example, my second sentence is still a topic sentence, but it's just repeating the topic of before. So I would delete this. And if I was a teacher who saw this submitted to me as an essay, I would make the same comment. I would say, you don't need that second sentence. Your first one is better. Stay with that. Does that help a little bit? The first sentence might also be a bit of a hook. If you feel like you're low enough in your essay that you want to grab your reader again, you could start with a question to gain your reader's attention, or some sort of hook. So we've talked about introducing hooks at the beginning of an essay, but we haven't really talked about re-hooking your audience. Hopefully you don't have to, and I'm not saying that this would be common, but it's a possible thing. It's something that I've seen before. How much damage exactly has been done to the earth, to our earth, the amount has two factors, environmental or non-human causation and human. Okay, so in this example here, Sarbajit, the first question is a rhetorical question, right? It's just to get us thinking about the topic. So it is a bit of a topic. It's a bit of a topic clause. How much damage exactly has been done to our Earth? The amount has two factors, non-human causation and human causation. So now I know that this paragraph is going to be about two different types of damage, but I introduce it with a rhetorical question. So yes is the short answer to Sarbajit's question. This is a tricky thing to do, French Leo, but it gets your attention, right? Exactly how much damage has been done to this earth? Well, let me tell you. It's a question that we don't want your answer to. We just want you to think about it. It's a tricky little thing that we do as writers and speakers to get the attention of our audience. Okay. Floyd, don't worry if it's difficult to understand. There's other classes, and we want to get you here. So we will work hard to to get you to a point in your English where you can understand us easily at this level. So keep trying. Don't give up. Keep trying, okay? All right. Let's see. Transition is like conjunction in a certain way. Yeah, French Leo. Yeah, similar. That's an analog. Absolutely. So when we write a paragraph, we think about what we write towards the end of the paragraph in order to prepare the transition necessarily. Yeah, that's what the outline is for, Alejandra. So when we make an outline, before we even start to write our essay, we have an idea of what our paragraphs are going to be about already. Now that will change. You can change your outline. It's not permanent, but you sort of grow and learn as you go. So French Leo, the first sentence includes the main idea. That's usually common. It's good. Maud says test. I don't know what that means. Maybe you were testing your chat ability. Rosa says, in academic writing, I don't think so. Well, for that, Rosa, in academic writing, yeah. They're kind of like conjunctions. Conjunctions between paragraphs. French Leo is just saying a conjunction joins two related clauses, like a coordinating conjunction, two related clauses in a compound sentence. Well, a transition sentence does the same thing in an academic essay often. It will join two related paragraphs that need transition between them. So yeah, in a way, that's true, what French Leo was saying. All right, topic sentence, second or third. Nora, you make the topic sentence the second or third. Can you show me an example of that? Can you send me a paragraph, please, and show me? I want to make sure that it's still an effective paragraph for you. I want to keep your writing strong, and I want to make sure that when you're doing that it's still a solid paragraph. If you have an essay, a whole essay, that's even better, and then just highlight the paragraph where you think that your second or third sentence is your topic sentence. If you do that for me, I'll take a look and I'll give you my comments and feedback, okay? The general idea, paraphrase a sentence, make it better in a conclusion. Nora says, if we paraphrase a sentence, it's better to make it a conclusion. I do that, but I don't know if it's something good. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. If we're paraphrasing a sentence that we find from a resource, from one of our sources, where we're getting evidence and information, facts, right, research, then you still want to cite it. So it doesn't really matter where it goes in the essay, but if you're paraphrasing someone else's work, you have to make a citation, okay? That's my advice. There's people who may disagree with me in some ways on that, but if it's someone else's work and it's like a quotation, you're using a fact or a sentence that exists already and you're simply paraphrasing it, you should make a citation. Now, if you're paraphrasing yourself, if you're paraphrasing your own thesis, something that you created from your mind, it also doesn't really matter where it goes, but we often paraphrase our thesis in our conclusion paragraph. So that might be what you're talking about too. I was talking about the topic sentence as the second sentence in the paragraph. That's why I said I don't think so. Oh, okay, I understand, Rosa. Adam says in a paraphrase sentence, I don't know how we got to talking about paraphrasing, but okay. Is the independent clause the important information? The independent clause is always the important information in any sentence. Every good English sentence must have an independent clause. If we're calling it a sentence and it only has a dependent clause, it's an incomplete sentence. So yes, the independent clause is always the most important, but it's not always the focus. And that is a hard concept sometimes to understand. Think of conditional sentences. It's the same information, right? There's independent and dependent, but sometimes we focus on the dependent first because it's more important. Another example would be passive grammar. That's an analog, right? We focus on the subject or the object. Well, the clause is essentially the same. The verb, the action happening to the object or by the subject is the same, but we choose to focus on the subject or object because of focus. So the clause is always the most important, the independent clause, what happened. But we shift our focus based on context, right? Context, context, context. Really important to consider and think about. I am talking about the way to build a paragraph, but not all paragraphs have paraphrasing. If we don't know what paraphrasing is, or if we want a reminder, paraphrasing is saying the same thing using different words or syntax. So syntax is like the order of your sentence, the way that we construct our sentence. So you say the same thing, you have the same meaning, you keep the same meaning, but you use different words or syntax. So we are almost out of time. We are out of time, but I'll go a little bit longer so I can read this to you. Just a couple paragraphs. Again, like we've talked about, in academic reading, we're not going to always read the whole thing. So just to give you some practice, I'm going to read the introduction paragraph. I'm then going to skip a couple. I'm going to read 2 body paragraphs and then the conclusion paragraph, okay? So I'm going to read those and then we're going to end on that. And then I will talk for just a minute and let you guys go and go on to great things you're going to do in this day, or if you're going to bed, dream great things that you're going to dream this night. So here is the topic paragraph of this academic reading. The Earth's climate, and the title of this is called The Causes of Global Warming. The Earth's climate has changed throughout its history, and life on this planet has continually adapted to whatever changes Mother Nature has thrown at it. Some animals die when weather patterns change, while others thrive and find new opportunities because it is either warmer or colder. Human beings, unlike any other species, have an awareness of how the climate changes over long periods of time because of their ability to record weather patterns and predict future trends. In the late 20th and 21st centuries, there has been concern that not only is the planet experiencing a cycle of warming, but that human beings are actively contributing and even speeding the process of global warming. Some statistics about what results these changes could have on people's lives are quite shocking. So discussion continues about global warming and, in particular, what is causing it. There are natural forces, such as the sun itself, that need to be outlined, but it is the man-made factors of the burning of fossil fuels and unchecked deforestation that have captured most of the media's attention. Now, that is, can you use an exclamatory sentence as the topic sentence? Unkanu. I still want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Unkanu. Yes, you could. Exclamation as a punctuation mark, exclamation marks are uncommon in academic writing. Usually we don't exclaim something. We just make strong statements with very deeply pointed periods. But exclamations are not common. So my advice would be, if it is an academic paper, do not do that. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. So be bold. Try it if you like. The worst that is going to happen is your teacher's going to say, "Why did you do that?" Hopefully. It is a great idea. Can you teach us for an entire day? I would love to, Adam. I would love to. Unfortunately, I can't. I'm the director here at this college, and I have tons of work to do outside of here. But I tell you something, I do look forward to this every time. I love teaching this class. You guys are great. You finished a few Cambridge IELTS books. Always scored 23 to 25 out of 40. Joy, that's a good start. Good start. Yeah. Maybe we can get you up to that 40 mark. Be cool. Come study here with us. We have an IELTS and TOEFL class that we teach, so we can get that score up for you if you want. I'm going to cook my 2 entangled eggs to obtain an omelet. All right, French Leo. I'm going to read 2 more paragraphs here, and then the conclusion, then we'll be done. So the fossil fuels which contain carbon are relatively inert until they are broken down. So remember, I skipped some information. This is just practice so you can pronounce pronounce at home if you want practice. The fossil fuels which contain carbon are relatively inert until they are broken down through the process of burning, which is where human activity comes into play. Before the mid-18th century and the advent of the Industrial Revolution, fossil fuels were burned mainly for light and cooking purposes, and there weren't the large engines and furnaces that need a constant source of energy. With the advent of steam engines and industrialized processes, the demand for items like coal increased significantly, and there seems to be a direct correlation between the increase of fossil fuel consumption and the increase in levels of CO2 in the atmosphere. Today, they are used to power nearly everything people do, and whereas human beings had never before created enough pollution to impact global climate, for the past 250 years it seems they have been doing so with drastic consequences. When added to the current warming trend due to solar activity, the human activity of burning fossil fuels does seem to be exacerbating the situation. Releasing carbon into the atmosphere through the burning of fossil fuels is not the only way people are helping to contribute to the problem of rising global temperatures. Unsustainable forestry practices, such as deforestation, the cutting of trees without replanting them, are also adding to it. Trees play a vital role in the climate of Earth, and it is easy for some companies and governments to forget that when they only see them as a means of gathering more income. Not only do trees protect the land and provide a habitat for creatures around them, but they also serve as a crucial function in filtering out the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and producing oxygen as a result. By absorbing the CO2 from the air around them, trees have a similar function as fossil fuels in that they store up excess carbon inside their trunks and maintain a balance of that gas in the atmosphere. It is estimated that between 1/4 and 1/3 of all carbon emissions attributed to human activity is absorbed and stored by trees, as well as other forms of plant life. When these natural air filters are cut down and replanted, there can be a balance between forestry and the impact it has on the environment. But in far too many parts of the world, deforestation is out of control, and vast expanses of forests that would normally be removing CO2 from the atmosphere are prevented from doing so. Cutting the trees does not directly add CO2 to the atmosphere, but it builds up more because it is not being filtered out and removed. So there's 2 body paragraphs for you to look at. I will say something I noticed in here is that I noticed where was it? Let me find an example. Contraction, weren't or wouldn't, or something like that. I will say that that is unusual. I don't normally see that, and I advise my students generally not to use, right here, weren't. So I advise my students don't use contractions in academic writing. It's less formal. Usually it's just the older, very formal writers and teachers that will tell you, hey, that's wrong. It's not wrong. It's more casual, and it's sometimes by the reader taken less seriously. So you want to know that your reader is going to take you seriously if you're writing something like this. This is a serious issue. You want it to be taken seriously and read seriously. So this isn't wrong. This is still good. But this writer has lots of solid facts and strong evidence, so I think they can get away with this. If this was more of if this was an essay that was, smaller and had less citation, this might stand out a little bit more. So be careful. Don't necessarily use contractions if you can help it. And then I'm going to read this last paragraph here. So, global warming and climate change on Earth does result from many natural phenomena, mainly the amount and type of energy which is released by the sun. However, there are also many human activities that are contributing to the problem. Whether or not human activity is responsible for global warming is another discussion entirely, but evidence seems to indicate that what people do on the planet does contribute and perhaps needs to be examined for further and far better regulated. Sorry, I had to read that last sentence twice. Starting to lose my voice. Thank you, Josh. That's helpful. You're welcome. No problem. Happy to help you. About the name, you're right. Did you say 1/3 or 1/3 or 1/3? Rosa, I hopefully said 1/3. Between 1/4 and 1/3 of all, so I said 1/3 of. Between 1/4 and 1/3 of all carbon emissions. If I did say anything else, it was wrong. It's possible that I misspeak when I read quickly like this. I didn't practice this. You're getting a natural reading from a native speaker. So it is possible I make mistakes. Maybe you'll find some and you can email those to me. 1 or 1 of 3. So you can say this if it was isolated by itself. Like, I'm not going to try to block it out, but you could say 1 in 4, 1/4, or 1/4. You can say that for this in a lot of different ways, but we'll know through the context what way we should say it. We can talk about this later. We talked a little bit about it in our note-taking strategy class, where we looked at different abbreviations, and we might revisit that again, but it'll have to wait till after presentation skills. So next class, we're either going to do a listening class or presentation skills, but either way, over the next 5 weeks, we're gonna have 4 classes on presentation skills, and we'll talk about a lot of different things like this. That's related. We could talk about it. Speaking. How do you speak these words? How do you speak these terms? How are they the same? What is your they in that sentence, Sarbaji? Let me know. How or what the same? Listening, please. Rosa wants listening. Okay, I heard a couple different requests for listening, so maybe we'll do that. But do know in our presentation, we will also have listening, okay? All right, so homework for our subscribers. And for anyone else, this is homework that anybody can do. So while I have specific homework for our subscribers, I have homework that I can give to everybody. How about that? Free homework, even if you're not a premium subscriber this week. You just don't get the extra premium subscriber feature I'm gonna add to it. So the homework is, I want you to read this entire academic essay out loud, but I don't want you to do it all at once. So you do not have to sit down and read every paragraph all at once. But there are 1, 2, 3, and you notice these are long, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs, okay? It's an 8-paragraph reading. And you notice when I read, I didn't read these things in parentheses. These are citations. You do not read them. So here is how you'll read this sentence. I'll just start in the middle. United States and globally accounts for 25% of all CO2 emissions compared to 14% by industry. When trees are burned, you notice how I skipped over this, right? And I pronounced this as CO2. And I pronounced this as 14%. The symbol is called percent. So I'd like you to read these. And if you're a premium subscriber, if you dare, you only have to read this. You don't have to do anything else. I just want you to read this out loud. And you can break it up. You can do 1 paragraph a day and read it alone to yourself out loud. When I say read, I don't want you to read silently. I don't want you to sit there and say, don't do that, okay? Please, when I say read, I want you to read it out loud. I want you to speak the words. Put that sound wave into the air, okay? Say them out loud. And you can break it up. Read 1 paragraph a day. Or you can do it all at once. And you can do it in one go. I think it's better to break it up and do 1 paragraph every day, though, because that's a little bit of reading every day that you're going to do it. The way I describe it to students is, if you wanted to be in the next World Cup, would you practice soccer? I say soccer because I'm an American. Would you practice football for 20 hours in one day? Or would you practice for 1 hour every day for 20 days? What would help you better if you had only those 2 decisions? It's binary option. You would choose the 1 hour every day for 20 days, right? That would help you more. So do that. Make sure you're reading every day, and make sure you're reading out loud every day. Read one of these paragraphs every day out loud. You can be by yourself. If you can get someone to listen to you, especially if they know English and they can give you feedback, do that. That's better, okay? Sarbajit, yes, I will help you after class. And can you send the other homework? Rosa, yes, please. So premium subscribers, I didn't get to that point yet though. Homework is for everybody to read this. Premium subscribers, if you want feedback on your reading, your pronunciation, record yourself reading it. Could be video, could be audio, I don't care. But email it to me and record one of these paragraphs that you find to be a little difficult and send it to me. I will listen to it and then I will give you feedback. I'll say, great job, or you actually need to pronounce this word differently, or this is not pronounced 18th, it's pronounced 18th. So if you make any mistakes, which maybe you won't, maybe your pronunciation is perfect, and I'll be celebrating that with you. But I'll give you feedback, okay? So premium subscribers can send me the link. If you're not a premium subscriber and you want to be, you have all week to sign up, and you can still send me that homework, okay? So just send Zach an email and request to sign up. It's Zach at Smrt English, SMRT English.com, and he can hook you up with premium subscribers. Sarbajit, I will help you. Don't worry, we're not gonna leave you without ability to participate and do the homework, okay? So Sarbajit, if you're online, your email account, I'm gonna send you a hangout right after class, okay? And we can chat. Nora, you're not alone in this world. How can we have these texts? To have the text, you have to sign up to become a premium subscriber. But then you get access to all of this. So all of our premium subscribers have access to all of this. The exercises, the presentations, the library of information. So all of our subscribers get access to all these documents, which there are tons. That was just one little reading lesson, the whole thing we talked about today. But if you sign up as a premium subscriber, you can look at all of this anytime you want. Okay. Silent reading makes us feel that we read perfectly, and that's what I feel. Nora, yeah, but we don't read perfectly. I don't read perfectly. I mean we. I really do mean we, right? All of us, including myself. I don't read perfectly. The only way that I read as well as I do, though, is by practice out loud. So I think we both know that's true, right? We have to read out loud to practice our reading and become better. It'll help, I promise. Hello, Deep. Hi. He says, hello. Hello, sir. Say hello. Please say hello. Say hello, please. Please. Please, LOL. Deep, 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 deep. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I'm sorry I missed those. It actually went up the chat so quickly I didn't see it. But hello. I was not ignoring you. Hello. Percent. Yes, French Leo. Okay. The link of the essay. I can't send you the link unless you're a premium subscriber because you have to log in to access the curricula. But I'd love to. Just sign up and we'll get you that link. Okay, so I think, hi from Bolivia, Ricardo, hi. You're at the end of class, we're just ending, but you can rewind and watch it again if you want, and show up next time, next week. Daniela, we can help you pronounce the words, and I don't pronounce them perfectly. Pretty close sometimes, I think, I like to hope. But thank you, that's very kind of you to say. Okay, so everybody, gotta go. I taught for an extra, 20 minutes just about. But that's okay. I like being here. So Sarbajit, give me 5 minutes, okay? And then I will send you a Hangout message, and I will help you with what you need help with, okay? Adam, you're welcome. And Ben Chiak, you're welcome as well. Daniela, everybody. Rosa and other Rosa and Sarbajit. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. As always, I'm going to say thank you for being amazing students. Thank you for studying here with us. I'm going to go to our big screen, so I'm right here in front of you when I say this, but thank you. You guys are incredible students. You're wonderful. I'm so lucky to be your teacher, and we get to have this really cool class with cool class discussions from all over the world. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. You guys have a lot of fun reading that and studying over the weekend, and I will see you next week, same time. We will have class at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Whew, long week for me. Okay, you guys are wonderful. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.